And so there is this sort of 1 week it's this and the next week it's that. And as far as I'm concerned, if people are flip-flopping that quickly, and people do, then they're not serious players. You need to have a thesis, you need to have a belief, and the belief has to be long-term in the majorly transformative potential of Web3 and all the things that it represents, blockchain, digital assets, now you put in AI and all of the rest of it. So metaverse, etc. So I think, are people still interested in Web3? Yeah, I'm investing in it right now, right? Like everyone here is, so the investors are. But I think what's going to happen, Kavita's spot on, is like we're on the brink of that suddenly becoming an amazing, like, oh, we're all back in blockchain and Web3 again. But the truth is, anyone worth their salt was never out.
We on location. I remember way back. You ain't have no swag. You did a little research. Now you got a moon bag. Now you got a new walk. Now you got new swag. You did a little research. Now you got a moon bag.
So, ladies and gentlemen, with digital assets, we hodl and we trade. And when we do hodl, we make sure it's on a cold storage wallet so we have full access to our funds and no one else. Okay, you're talking about the DCENT wallet here. The link is in the description. The most easy and safe hardware wallet, enhanced crypto protection, built on the highest security standards. What is going on, blockchain monkeys? Eagle here, and I want to thank you for coming to my jungle. First of all, I'm no financial advisor whatsoever, nor am I professional in blockchain technology. But there is one thing that I absolutely will do, and that's give you my opinion. So today, we have so much going down. I mean, they're hitting you from all angles. We got inflation, and we also got distraction out the wazoo. But the blockchain monkeys are going to lay it down. But before we can even get to it, I'm going to need you to rub them hands together first. Real vigorously. And slide down Twitter. Coming in hot from Cyprus, we have here banks in educational phase. Told you all step by step, first large organizations, then universities, educating the masses is the last on the list. And you can see it right here. Blockchain is being increasingly incorporated into the curriculum taught at universities and other educational institutions around the world, offering academic degrees and other certifications. And then we got this here from the Global Blockchain Business Council. The GBBC is pleased to announce the 4th iteration of the Global Standards Mapping Initiative, the most comprehensive effort to map and analyze the blockchain and digital asset landscape across key areas. I mean, talk about hurry up and learn. And also, let's not forget that the face of banking is changing. We got Globiance, which runs on the XDC protocol. This coming in hot from Globiance Pay. Imagine owning a bank where your voice truly matters. Join us in shaping the future of banking and earn your share of bank revenue with Globiance Pay STO. I mean, are you putting this opportunity right in front of our face or what? And so it reads here, while the world is distracted, if you don't know who this man is, you need to wake up. We're talking about Augustus Carson, General Manager of the BIS. He just spoke at the CBDC and Future Monetary System Seminar. Take a look. From the above, it is clear that 3 main components of the unified ledger are digital and programmable money, digital assets, and the digital infrastructure that supports their operation and integrity. And for these 3 components to work together, the key step is tokenization. Now it goes back to interoperability. Right here, to harness the full benefits of tokenization, we need all components to work together seamlessly. The key here is to guarantee that the digital assets network are interconnected and interoperable. The technology already is there. It's already there, okay? The real challenge is to work out the legal and regulatory frameworks of which they are taking their time on purpose so they can build the plumbing, giving you front row seats to this rocket. Don't believe me? Well, take a listen to Miss Johnson and Miss Dixon. Let's go.
So funny because I remember, I think it was in November of 2019, there was a filing that you guys had made that was picked up by, and it was the first mention of using the Stellar blockchain. And I was like, this is exactly the way that you want open technology to work. You guys looked at this, made your decisions about what you were going to do. No one had to force you. Like no one went out and said, hey, we're going to pay you lots of money to do this. You guys figured it out. We were thrilled to see that because that's exactly what we want to see happen all over the world. And what we do see happen, not at this scale necessarily, but small individual developers in other parts of the world can grab the technology and do it. But once we did, we were like, hey, we should be talking to them. And so we started the conversations, and it's just been so nice to watch the journey and to watch that, you guys like did very methodically approach this. And so what are the benefits that you see for?
Well, I mean, of course, at the time we were, trying to figure out which platform to use. And, I think we ended up with Stellar because of really the capabilities that you guys have that were so important for the regulatory environment.
And like I just said, interoperability is the key. This coming in hot from 801 XRP. Listen to the Polygon Chief Legal and Policy Officer Rebecca hit you with this heat.
Polygon 2.0. What can people expect with that upgrade? Polygon 2.0 has been really exciting, but it really is meant to build out this vision of, having the underlying layer of the internet with lots of interconnected chains. And that's really the vision moving forward, that independent actors throughout the entire crypto ecosystem will continue building out specialized chains that will allow people to engage in different types of activity, build different types of apps on them. And so we'll have a blockchain-based internet rather than the, TCP/IP Web 2-based internet that we had.
And so we got Brian Brooks here. You ladies and gentlemen remember Brian Brooksy, don't you? Now this going back to August 6th, 2021, Binance US CEO Brooksy resigns just 3 months into the job. Now, what was the even significance, or what was the reason for only a 3-month stay? Brooksy, I mean, you can see down here at the bottom of the article, prior to joining the regulator, Brooksy has been the chief legal officer of Coinbase Global, as well as acting comptroller. And now we got Brooksy, managing partner of Valor Capital Group. It's not that Ripple XRP is trying to replace the US dollar. It's trying to replace a system of transmitting value. So for me, the price is not that relevant any more than Google's volatility.
So the point that I always try and tell people is, the biggest issue that I always try to focus on is cryptocurrencies are really not about currency. And the biggest misunderstanding of this whole discussion is the belief that if crypto is not doing a great job of replacing the US dollar, then crypto is failing in its mission. And what I think we'll talk about a little bit today is the idea that most of crypto is about replacing the centralized banking system with networks that allow user control versus bank CEO control. The crypto assets that have prices are more like internet stocks. It's more like you bet on Google if you think there's going to be high internet traffic, and you short Google if you think people are going to go back.
He just broke it down to you so simple. If you don't understand this, I don't know what to tell you.
The post office, right? But it's not that Ethereum or Ripple or anything else is trying to replace the US dollar. It's trying to replace a system of transmitting value. And we'll talk a lot more about that. So for me, the prices are not that relevant.
Now this coming in hot from ISO 222. Let's do it. The big money is in cross-border payments. That's why we have Ripple and Stellar.
Okay, so look, Western Union isn't going to go out of business anytime soon. They're going to adopt different technologies. Okay, but this is where the big money is. It's not in remittances. It's in these business-to-business payments across border. And that's why we have these kinds of companies like Ripple and Stellar. This is all about, right, business-to-business, back-end, big volume transactions, which are currently, very expensive. So if we look at the payment system, they're not sitting at the, you're sending money back to your uncle, right? It is, right, at the bank level. So the banks are making transactions with other banks. Now, nothing's changed here. You're still doing something like correspondent banking, except now, because the data needs to move around more quickly than the money moves around, right? We can settle these things more quickly.
On the back end, ladies and gentlemen, you will be facing the interface as if nothing changed unless you're in the know and unless you're a blockchain monkey. Let's go.
So the difference between a Bitcoin and a Ripple, in a nutshell, again, not too much time to elaborate, is that what Bitcoin uses is an open, permissionless, distributed ledger system, right, where anybody can jump in and do a transaction.
It's DLT up in the streets, man. That's why we rip all on that blockchain.
And that's kind of the beauty of it. I can go buy Bitcoin, you can go buy Bitcoin. We don't need to ask anybody's permission, and there's no middleman that can, accept or deny, approve or reject. It's distributed, the consensus around validating these transactions. What's different about systems like Ripple and most of the blockchain systems that will prevail is that they are permissioned, meaning that you have to be, a member, and membership has its privileges. And so you have these different nodes, and the nodes basically know one another. Okay, and then if I want to give money to my uncle back in France, let's say, then I have to go to one of these banks that are a member of the Ripple network, and then my uncle will go to one of these banks that's a member of the Ripple network, and then those banks will do their transacting through this distributed ledger.
And so real quick, before I let you go, we got Mr. Man XRP. The 1% of the world are already set up with blockchain and digital infrastructure. They've already admitted it. And so real quick, before I let you go, we got Mr. Man XRP. The 1% of the world are already set up with blockchain and the digital infrastructure. They have already admitted it. You talk about building the plumbing and then licensing it out. Take a listen.
It's still a pretty wide gulf, and it's sort of like there's a world that was pre all of the developments with, the cloud, etc. And then there's the post world, and post world is pretty rapidly adopting these, but the rest of the world is not moving to that very quickly. So, one part of our business model actually is that the technology we develop for our business, we also license to others.
Cause it's the standard in this bitch. XRP. I went to YouTube University, and now they mocking me with no degree. We saying by the swift, keep it walking. Respect your elders in these bushes. Bitcoin is talking.
You don't have to be rich to be taking advantage of this. This was the beginning of the greatest transformation of wealth the world has ever fucking seen since World War II.
Blockchain. We talking about an intellectual choo-choo train. It's DLT up in these streets, man. That's why we rip all on that blockchain.